Hi, I'm Natasha Frakes. We're at the Alpha North Capital Conference in the Bahamas. I'm here with Bill Stormont, who is the CEO of First Block Capital. Bill, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us about First Block Capital.
Well, First Block Capital is Canada's first fully registered crypto investment firm. We were founded with the idea of making crypto and blockchain investments accessible to the public. So our first product was the First Block Capital Bitcoin Investment Trust, which we launched last September. It was a landmark decision by the BC Security Commission to register us in the first place. And we went through a very rigorous process in order to get to that point. Having done so, we've since started looking at new products and new ways to build and innovate and create this firm that specializes in this space and is the leader in it.
Can you elaborate on what makes you stand out in your sector?
Well, I think the fact that we're first is obviously a huge feather in our cap. Our founders, Mark Vanderjys and Sean Clark, who's now the CEO of Hut 8, but is still a director. Mark is a director as well. The two of them came up with this idea, and I think being first is really has a quality all of its own in a sense. And it's been hard for others to follow us because the process that we went through to get here was a very long term. It took a lot of commitment and time and capital and energy to get through it. And I think the fact that we got the Bitcoin Trust launched in and of itself is a huge achievement. The fact that we've grown it, we initially marketed it under an OM, we now sell it directly, and now we're launching new funds, new products in new areas, adding new divisions, and I think that really distinguishes us in the space as we push out. We're taking more and more of it, and I think growing, but doing so in a sort of a structured and orderly manner, which I think defines us and distinguishes us from our peers.
You mentioned a few names, but can you tell us more about your management team?
Well, Mark Vanderjys is really, I think, one of the leading lights in this space. I mean, he was the founder of the Chinese equivalent of YouTube, really, sold that many years ago and got into cryptocurrency and Bitcoin probably about 5.5 years ago. And he's been very active in promoting and educating and developing the ideas around it, interacting with a lot of our peers. We have good relationships. Just last week we released a joint statement with Bitfury supporting a coin that we invested in alongside them. So he's got a real prominence in the space, and there was an article just before New Year in Inc. magazine identifying him as one of the 7 most important investors in this space. So he's a guy that you should be following on Twitter. He's a guy in the space that really is a thought leader and very prominent. Sean Clark, our other director, was one of the founders of Shoes.com. He's a very entrepreneurial, driven guy who his energy and his insights have really helped push the company forward. And I think having those two guys on the board, and me having come in as CEO, it's a real great cycle that I think we have. I've got a capital markets background, a fund management and investment banking background, and with the two of them as well, with their technology and entrepreneur backgrounds, there's really a complementary cycle that we have between us all.
It sounds very promising. Bill, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.